We might not all agree on which politician is best for any given office, but we can all agree that every politician is made worse by the two-party system. In this speech, you'll be taught how the two-party system is flawed and how it causes it, and what causes it to be flawed, and how we can solve the two-party system. America's two-party system is flawed because it impairs the constitutional guarantees of one person and their vote. It also has a negative impact on the exercise of voting rights, and it weakens the major and third parties. And it also strengthens the influence of others on elections. We've had this in the past with multiple controversial elections, like the 2016 election, for example, as there's a bunch of controversy that Vladimir Putin had an effect on the election and helped Donald Trump win. Same thing could have happened this past year, lots of controversy with others affecting the elections. First of all, Americans do not have a variety of choices. The two main parties have so many similarities, which narrows down the options that voters have. Additionally, this is an under-democratic system because a percentage of people will always feel marginalized by the system. They just always will. Now that we know about the two-party system and how it's flawed, let's look at the problems the two-party system causes for others. The two-party system has created much division amongst political parties and voters. As we've seen in the past with Republicans and Democrats going at each other, there's always been heated debates and stuff. Given that these two parties stand on relatively opposite ends of the spectrum for ideals, as a result, this has created much division within the Senate and Congress, as we've seen before. As the Senate and Congress, most of us refer to it as either the Senate being represented by mostly Republicans, or the House of Representatives being represented by mostly Democrats. We've seen this before. All right. Which is it's also stopped bills from being passed because of this. Like, you could have a bill passed in the House, and then once it gets to the Senate, because the Senate may be the opposite idealist, completely shuts it down just because it might possibly be a Republican bill or a Democrat bill. They'll just shut it down because they possibly don't feel like it's going to help our country very much, and that it's the opposite of what they want. As a result, the common American citizen is harmed from the division within the politics, often as a result of lack of timely action to resolve pressing issues. Therefore, it is evident that the two-party political system may at times be detrimental to the common folk within the U.S. Now that we know what harm the two-party political system causes for Americans, let's look at how we can fix this problem. The way that you fix the problem is to abolish the two-party system altogether. It is not working. It's just divided the entire United States apart from the beginning. So it just hasn't worked well. George Washington even would be opposed to this, even though he did not live in a time where there was a two-party system, and he was just elected because everyone liked him, which I think that's how it should be now. We all vote, or we all pick one person, everyone who would think that lead the country the better. The Republican and Democrats try to make it hard for any other political party to come into existence. I know that there's a couple outside political parties that have ran for presidents and only get like couple thousand votes every election because Republicans and Democrats dominate every year. So it's hard for like that new political system or party to come in and be able to have someone represent their party and win the election. Dissatisfaction with the two-party politics is at an all-time high. New Gallup polling shows with 62% of Americans saying Democrats and Republicans are doing such a poor job of representing their constituents that a third party is actually needed. So even America believes, over half of America believes that this political party or this party system should be abolished, and that we need to bring in a third party who is not Republican or Democrat and have them run, which is obviously not going to happen with the two-party system with Republicans and Democrats dominating, like I've said before. Ending two-party politics is not just a fever dream. Members of Congress, led by Republican Don Beyer and centrist Virginian Democrat, and a centrist Virginian Democrat are considering a bill, the Fair Representation Act, that would actually abolish the Republicans and Democrat system and move a third party into the political system to where we can actually have a better election and not divide America as much. You now learned about all the things that make the two-party system bad, what harm it does, and how we can fix it. We are all able to vote now, so next time, now that we are all in college, we are all able to vote now. So next time that you do, just remember what could be if we get rid of having two main political parties. Thank you.